Alright, hello guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be making my predictions for game week number 7 of the EFL Championship 25-26 season. But first, let's have a look at how I did last week. Now, I got 3 outcomes correct and 1 scoreline correct. Last night's with Millwall beating Watford 1-0 saved my score, so it's 5 points for last week, taking my season total up to 31. And here is how the championship table looks after 6 matches. It's all jumbled, but without further ado, let's start predicting this week's matches. And the first matchup is West Brom against Leicester. And both these sides, these are 2 sides I can expect to be pushing on and in and around the playoffs this season. And West Brom, I think they're just currently outside the playoffs. Leicester are in it. And I expect both these sides to push on this season. This is at the Hawthorns, and I feel like this game is already very tricky to predict. But we called it the Drawthorns for a reason last season, because it has draws. And I just look at this match and I think draw is written all over it. I think Leicester are quite a pushing side, West Brom are a somewhat cagey side, and I'm going to sit on the fence with a 1-1 draw on this one for match number 1. I think both sides are going to be relatively happy with a point to push up towards the playoffs and promotion, so 1-1 is where I'm going on the first match here. And next up we've got another big match. It is Coventry against Birmingham. And these are another 2 sides I can expect to be pushing on for promotion this season. Birmingham have been slightly underwhelming so far this season. And Coventry have been pushing on. They are really one of the promotion favourites from the bookies. I think they're like second favourites. And I think that with them coming back to the CBS, they're going to get a result here. And I think Coventry are going to get the win over the line. They, what happened last? Oh yeah, they drew 0-0 with Leicester last week. And Birmingham, I think they got a win. But I'm going to I don't think Birmingham are quite at their brilliant best yet this season. I think they will start to kick on at some point eventually, but I'm going for a Coventry win, 2-1 on this one. I think Cov will get the win over the line and get all the 3 points. So 2-1 Cov. Next up we've got Wrexham against Derby County. And Wrexham's another side I can expect to push on this season. I think they already are. They beat Norwich 3-2 last week. Bonkers game. Derby I've been underestimating a lot this season, but this is at the racecourse, and I do like Wrexham's form at the minute. I think it's just that slight bit better than Derby's. I think Derby lost to Preston last week actually, and I just look at this and I think Wrexham are going to get a win, and this is risky because then they concede goals, but I'm going for a clean sheet. I'm going 2-0 Wrexham on this one. I think Wrexham will manage to hold on to a clean sheet and start pushing on. It's 2-1 Wrexham. Next up we've got Swansea against Millwall. And these are another 2 sides that have been impressive this season. And with this being at the Swansea Stadium, I think Swansea can get a result. But Millwall have been impressive this season. They keep pushing on, getting 3 points, getting results. And I do think that Millwall have enough for a draw here. I'm going 1-1. I think both sides are going to be happy to push on towards the playoffs with a point and keep moving the chain. So 1-1 is where I'm going on this one. Next up we've got Ipswich against Portsmouth. And this is another big match. Ipswich are the home side and I do fancy them in this match. But here's the thing, Ipswich, their match against Blackburn was suspended due to a wet pitch. The ball kept sticking to the turf. But they were 1-0 down against Blackburn. That was at Ewood Park, but they were 1-0 down. Portsmouth lost. I think it was 2-0 to Sheffield Wednesday, which I didn't predict. I didn't see coming. But at home, I think Ipswich are going to be pushing on. I mean, with that Blackburn result not being officially confirmed yet, this could be back-to-back wins for Ipswich here. And I think at home, they're going to get back-to-back wins. I'm going 2-1 Ipswich on this one. I think their quality is just a bit better. I do prefer Portsmouth at home. I mean, that being said, they did lose last time out, but I think Ipswich will get the win over the line, and Portsmouth will go back to their ground next week and get a win. But 2-1 Ipswich. Next up, we've got Charlton against Blackburn. And it's like I said, Blackburn, they were 1-0 up against Ipswich. Both these sides weren't for good results last week. Blackburn were 1-0 up before the match got suspended, and Charlton got that 1-0 last-minute winner against Sheffield United. And that was on the road. Sheffield United are a mess, but we'll go on to them a bit later. But Charlton, I liked what, I keep saying it, I like what Nathan Jones is doing with them. I think they're going to be, I think they're going to push on, and they like a trusty, cagey win. So I'm going to do it. Blackburn do look good, but they look good mostly at Ewood Park. And I'm going to back Charlton for a 1-0 win. Here again, they like 1-0 wins. They did it last season in League One a lot. And I think Charlton will push on with a 1-0 win in this one. And next up, we've got Southampton against Middlesbrough. And this game I'm worried about. Coming into the season, I'm sure a lot of people had Southampton in their top two, or at least in the playoffs. And Middlesbrough, some people had in and around the playoffs. I had them, I think, 7th coming into the season. And Middlesbrough have won, they've got 5 wins and a draw from their first 6 matches, which is mighty impressive. And if I had to pick a winner here, I would pick Middlesbrough. Just looking at Southampton, because they lost 3-0 to Hull last week. But it is at St Mary's, and I think we can get a draw. I'm not going to go all out for a win here, but I'm going for a draw, a Desmond, a 2-2 draw on this one. I think both sides are strong enough to get something from this match, and I do fancy Southampton at home more. So I'm going for a draw on this one. That may well be enough to keep Middlesbrough their top spot, and at least Southampton pushing up the table a couple places. So 2-2 is where I'm going. Next up, we've got Sheffield Wednesday against QPR, and this is another tricky match to predict, because Sheffield Wednesday, they got that 2-0 win last week. QPR got 3-1 win. So both these sides got good wins last week, and yeah, I think, this is tricky, because it's at Hillsborough, and I do like Sheffield Wednesday at home. But QPR, since that 7-1 beating, since they got beat 7-1 by Coventry, they've been stringing together a streak of wins. And it's half tempting to go for a draw here. So tempting to go for a draw. But I do like what QPR are doing at the moment. And Sheffield Wednesday, off the pitch, they still have those issues. I think it could be a draw going into the dying moments, and QPR get a winner here. I'm going 2-1 QPR, 2-1 to the away side. I think QPR will keep pushing on, and that'll be, the 3rd or 4th win in a row? So 2-1 QPR. And next up, we've got Stoke against Norwich. And both these sides lost last week. Norwich 3-2 defeat to Wrexham, and Stoke with a 2-1 defeat. I can't remember who that was against. But Stoke at the Bet365 Stadium, under Mark Robins, I think they're going to get back to winning ways here. Norwich, their problem isn't scoring goals, it's getting results. They're actually in the bottom half of the table. And I've backed them time and time again to get results this season, and they've let me down. And I like them at Carrow Road more, but at Bet365 Stadium against a strong Stoke side, I think Stoke are going to win 2-1. I think it's going to be another 2-1 scoreline for Norwich this season. And but it's a 2-1 defeat for them because I'm going for Stoke, the Potters, to get a win and the 3 points. Next up, we've got Preston against Bristol City. And this is another tricky one. Preston got a win last week. Bristol City lost 3-1 to Oxford. And that was at home. I'm just wondering, is that an outlier for Bristol City? Again, if I had to pick a winner in this one, I would pick Bristol. But Preston's almost the anti-Norwich for me this season. I feel like I've not backed Preston enough this season for what they're doing. I think they're 5th in the table, and they are looking very strong. And Bristol, I don't know how they're going to respond, Bristol City, to that 3-1 defeat. I think they're going to respond, and as I say, Bristol City are good, but Preston are good at home. So I'm going to sit on the fence with a 1-1 draw on this one. I think both teams are going to get a point and share the spoils, so 1-1 is where I'm going. Next up, we've got Watford against Hull. And this is another very tricky one because Hull got that 3-0 win against Southampton, but they are on the road. Watford lost 1-0 to Millwall, as I predicted last night. But this is another tricky one because it's tricky because both these sides on their days can get results over the line, or they could lose quite heavily. Although Hull seems to be losing more heavily than Watford, but it is at Watford's ground. And if I had to pick a winner, I would narrowly pick Hull to keep their momentum going. But I'm going to sit on the fence with another 1-1 draw. I think both these sides are going to be happy with a point to push on towards safety this season. So 1-1 is where I'm going on this one too. And next up, we've got Oxford against Sheffield United. And Oxford got that 3-1 win against Bristol City. Sheffield United lost 1-0 to Charlton. Chris Wilder is back at the helm, but it did end in defeat. And Sheffield United's only now the 4th Championship team in history to lose all 6 of their opening matches of the season. This is another tricky one, because I like Oxford at home, but in my head, Chris Wilder should start getting a tune out of these players. I think he said in a interview or something about him underestimating the job he had in hand to come back and just assumed it would be easy. It's not that easy, but I just look at the squads. This could be very foolish, but I look at the squads and I think Sheffield United looks a lot better. I'm going to back them this week, and I feel like going home next week, midweek, will be a benefit for them. I'm going 2-1 Sheffield United. I'm going to back them, but it wouldn't surprise me if Oxford got a result here, and we'll see if Sheffield United can get their first result of the season, or will it be 7 defeats from 7? No one knows really, but 2-1 Sheffield is where I'm going. And there you have it, guys, all 12 Championship matches predicted for another week. Let me know your predictions in the comments below. And yeah, we'll see how these predictions come in. And by the way, it is a triple match week technically. We've got matches this weekend, which I've just predicted. I'll be back later in the week to predict midweek's matches, and then later after those matches have been done in the Championship for the next weekend. So lots of football action to look forward to, and I'll see you all in the next one.